What if every transaction you made, from your morning coffee to your next vacation, was not only tracked but could also be restricted? This isn't just a plot from a dystopian novel. It's the potential future of our financial system under a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. It's a future that governments are actively building with digital money they completely control. At the same time, a parallel financial system is rising, one that operates beyond their grasp, and it's setting the stage for a massive battle over financial freedom. This is the story of Bitcoin versus the new financial empires. Across the globe, a quiet war is being waged. Not with soldiers and tanks, but with regulations, code, and economic policy. On one side, you have sovereign governments, the empires of the modern age, who for the last century have held a near total monopoly over money. On the other side is Bitcoin, a decentralized digital force that answers to no one. For most of recent history, the deal was simple. The state issues the money, and we use it. This gave them immense power to fund projects, manage economies, and, crucially, to monitor financial activity. But what happens when a new form of money comes along that they can't print, can't easily devalue, and can't stop? What happens when money becomes a truly free market technology, separate from the state? This is the fundamental question that sends a chill down the spine of every central banker and politician. Because if you control the money, you have immense influence over the people. And for the first time in a long time, that control is being seriously challenged. In this video, we're not just talking about Bitcoin as an investment. We're dissecting the existential threat it poses to the global power structure and exploring the aggressive, and sometimes frightening, ways governments are fighting back. This is the story of their fear, and why that fear might just be the most bullish signal of all for Bitcoin. To understand why governments are so unsettled by Bitcoin, you have to grasp what makes it so different from any money that's come before it. It's not just digital money. PayPal is digital. So is your credit card. But they all operate inside the existing government-controlled system. Bitcoin operates completely outside of it. Its revolutionary power comes from a few key properties that together create a system that's inherently resistant to control. First, and most importantly, is decentralization. There's no Bitcoin CEO to call, no central server to shut down, and no headquarters to raid. The Bitcoin network is run by thousands of computers, or nodes, scattered all across the world. Think of it this way. The traditional financial system is like a single central library with one master ledger. If you control the library, you control the information. Bitcoin is more like a shared public document that, once a change is confirmed, is instantly copied to millions of computers. To rewrite history, you'd have to find and alter a majority of those copies at once, a monumentally difficult task. This distributed nature means that no single entity, not a bank, not a corporation, and not even the most powerful government, can easily turn it off or change the rules on a whim. The second terrifying feature is that it's permissionless. You don't need to ask anyone for permission to use Bitcoin. You don't need an account, an ID, or a bank's approval. Anyone, anywhere, with an internet connection can download a wallet and start sending and receiving value. This bypasses the traditional gatekeepers, the banks, which are a government's primary tool for financial surveillance. Banks enforce capital controls, report transactions, and freeze accounts. Bitcoin challenges these levers of control. Value can move across borders as easily as sending an email without needing a third party's approval. Third is its censorship resistance. Once a transaction is confirmed on the Bitcoin blockchain, it is incredibly difficult to reverse, block, or censor. If you try to send a wire transfer that a bank or government doesn't like, they can just block it. This has been used to cut off funding to activist groups, political opponents, and entire nations. With Bitcoin, that's not so simple. Transactions are validated by a decentralized network based on mathematical rules, not politics. While it's theoretically possible for powerful groups of miners to try and filter transactions, the network is designed to make this very hard and economically irrational. This poses a direct threat to the use of the financial system as a weapon of political enforcement. Finally, there's Bitcoin's fixed supply. There will only ever be around 21 million Bitcoin. This is a core rule of the system, upheld by a powerful social and technical consensus. This stands in stark contrast to government-issued, or fiat, currencies. Central banks can, and do, print new money whenever they choose. This expansion of the money supply is a hidden tax on your savings called inflation. Bitcoin, with its predictable and finite supply, is like digital gold. It can't be debased by a central authority. This presents a profound challenge. What if people start seeing their national currency as a melting ice cube and decide to store their savings in a provably scarce asset instead? It undermines the very foundation of modern monetary policy, which relies on the ability to manipulate the money supply. Combine these features, decentralization, a permissionless nature, censorship resistance, and a fixed supply, and you don't just have a new asset, you have a parallel financial system. One that is global, neutral, and operates beyond the direct control of any single empire. And that is a truly revolutionary, and for those in power, a truly terrifying prospect. Faced with a technology they can't control, governments aren't standing by. They've launched a coordinated, multi-front assault aimed at containing and co-opting the crypto world. This isn't a clumsy outright ban. It's a much smarter strategy designed to build walls around the Bitcoin ecosystem and re-establish control. The era of treating crypto as a niche hobby is over. We are in the age of the global regulatory onslaught. The primary weapon is the regulation of on-ramps and off-ramps. Governments know they can't easily stop the Bitcoin network itself, but they can control the bridges that connect it to the traditional financial world, the exchanges where you buy and sell crypto with dollars, euros, or yen. This is where the battle is being fought most fiercely. A key piece of this strategy is enforcing strict anti-money laundering AML and Know Your Customer KYC rules. The Financial Action Task Force, or FATFA, a global watchdog, has been pushing its travel rule. Originally for bank transfers, it now requires crypto service providers to collect and share personal information about who is sending and receiving crypto. While implementation across jurisdictions remains uneven, the goal is clear: de-anonymize transactions by tying every transfer back to a real-world identity. The European Union is leading the charge in comprehensive regulation with its Markets in Crypto Assets MiCA framework, which became fully applicable in late 2024. MiCA imposes uniform, rigorous rules for any company offering crypto services across all 27 EU member states, requiring authorization, a physical presence, and significant capital reserves. This has forced the industry to mature, but it also sends a clear message: operate by our rules, or you won't operate at all. In the United States, the approach in 2025 remains heavily driven by enforcement, with agencies like the SEC and CFTC bringing high-profile cases against major platforms. While there are ongoing legislative efforts and calls for clearer rules, the landscape is still fragmented, defined more by lawsuits than by a unified regulatory playbook. This push is global. Governments are sharing intelligence and coordinating on sanctions, as seen in joint warnings from the US, South Korea, and Japan about North Korean crypto activities. From Hong Kong launching a proposed stablecoin framework to the Cayman Islands implementing its own licensing rules, regulators are working to create a global net. The strategy is clear: if you can't kill Bitcoin, domesticate it. By forcing exchanges and other service providers into the same regulatory pen as banks, governments rebuild their surveillance capabilities. They are attempting to transform a permissionless system back into a permissioned one, where access is granted only to those who comply. This isn't a war on the technology itself, but a war for control over its access points. They are building a digital iron curtain around the decentralized world, hoping to trap it and bring it to heel. While governments are busy building walls around Bitcoin, they're also constructing their own alternative, a digital currency designed from the ground up for absolute control. This is the central bank digital currency, or CBDC. It's being sold to the public as a modern, efficient, and secure evolution of money. In reality, it could be a Trojan horse for unprecedented financial surveillance and social engineering. So, what exactly is a CBDC? It's a digital version of a country's fiat currency, issued directly by the central bank. Unlike the money in your bank account, which is a liability of a commercial bank, a CBDC would be a direct liability of the central bank, just like physical cash. But that's where the similarity to cash ends. Where cash offers privacy, a CBDC offers the exact opposite: perfect centralized traceability. As of late 2025, the race to develop CBDCs is moving at a breathtaking pace. Over 130 countries, representing 98% of global GDP, are exploring a CBDC. This isn't a fringe experiment, it's a coordinated global pivot. While only 4 nations, the Bahamas, Jamaica, Nigeria, and Zimbabwe, have fully launched, 1 major powers are in advanced pilot stages. China's digital yuan pilot is massive. India's e-rupee pilot is expanding to a growing number of users, and the European Central Bank has been working to finalize a rulebook for a digital euro. Why the sudden urgency? The official reasons are financial inclusion and payment efficiency. But the true appeal for governments lies in the features that are most dangerous to individual freedom. The most significant is programmability. A CBDC isn't just money, it's programmable money. The issuer could embed rules into the currency itself. Imagine a stimulus payment that expires in 30 days to force you to spend it. Or welfare benefits that can only be used for groceries and rent. This would turn money into a tool for direct social control. A CBDC could also enable radical monetary policies. In a recession, a central bank could impose negative interest rates directly on your holdings. With physical cash, you could just withdraw it. In a CBDC-dominated world, there might be no escape. Your money would literally shrink in your account by design to force you to spend. But the gravest risk is the destruction of financial privacy. The most extreme CBDC designs would create a direct link between every citizen's financial life and the government. Every purchase, every donation, all recorded on a central ledger. While many central banks are exploring privacy-preserving features, the potential for surveillance is undeniable. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has repeatedly stated the Fed would not want to see individual transaction data and has no desire to create a system for government spying. Yet he has also acknowledged in the past that a CBDC designed for transparency could require a central record of all payments, a stark contrast to cash. This isn't just a hypothetical fear. A CBDC could make financial control absolute. While Bitcoin was created to separate money and state, the CBDC represents the ultimate fusion of money and state power. A system of control so complete it would make today's financial system look like a bastion of freedom. If you're getting value from this deep dive and believe in the importance of financial freedom, take a second to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It helps us fight the algorithm and get this crucial information out to more people who need to understand what's at stake in this battle for the future of money. The conflict between Bitcoin and empires goes far beyond domestic policy. It strikes at the very heart of modern geopolitics, threatening one of the most powerful weapons in a superpower's arsenal: financial sanctions. The current world order is built on a financial system dominated by the US dollar and networks like SWIFT. This gives nations that control these choke points immense leverage. By cutting off a country's access to the global banking system, they can cripple its economy and force policy changes without firing a shot. This is financial warfare. Bitcoin throws a massive wrench into this machine. Because it operates on a global, neutral network that no single country controls, it offers a potential escape hatch from sanctions. Transactions on the Bitcoin network can't be blocked by a third party in the same way a wire transfer can. Value can move from a wallet in a sanctioned country to anywhere else, bypassing the traditional banking system. This isn't just theory. Governments are acutely aware of this. There are ongoing reports and concerns about countries like Russia and Iran using cryptocurrencies to mitigate economic pressure. Reports in late 2025 suggest some Iranian platforms may even offer tools to bypass identity checks, and that Russia has sought to use digital assets for international trade. The response from sanctioning powers has been swift. They've begun targeting not just countries, but also crypto entities that might help them. Exchanges, wallet providers, and specific crypto addresses linked to sanctioned nations have been put on sanctions lists. This shows that the halls of power see the decentralized world as a new front in geopolitical conflict. The existence of a non-state, censorship-resistant monetary channel weakens the power of sanctions. If a country can still trade using Bitcoin, the economic blockade becomes less effective. For a nation whose global influence is tied to its currency's dominance, this is a serious threat. It's not just about losing control over their own citizens. It's about losing a key lever of control over other nations. This is why you hear government agencies framing Bitcoin as a national security issue. They're not just worried about tax evasion. They're worried about losing a critical component of their global power. The battle against Bitcoin is, in this sense, a battle to preserve the existing geopolitical order. They fear a world where financial blockades can be routed around as easily as internet traffic. This makes Bitcoin not just a financial technology, but a geopolitical one, with the potential to rebalance power on the world stage. As governments ramp up their efforts to control crypto, a technological arms race is escalating. On one side, state-sponsored surveillance is getting smarter. On the other hand, the crypto community is developing powerful new privacy tools to fight back. It's a high-stakes cat and mouse game for the future of financial privacy. For years, people thought Bitcoin was completely anonymous. The reality is, it's pseudonymous. Your real name isn't on your Bitcoin address, but all transactions are permanently recorded on the public blockchain. This public ledger is a treasure trove of data for law enforcement. An entire industry of blockchain analytics firms now works with government agencies to de-anonymize transactions. They use advanced AI to cluster wallet addresses, trace the flow of funds, and link blockchain activity to real-world exchanges where users have verified their identity. These collaborations have been surprisingly effective, leading to major seizures and arrests. They prove the blockchain's transparency can be a powerful tool for investigators. This growing surveillance directly challenges the promise of a private, alternative financial system. But the crypto world is not standing still. There's been a surge in the development of privacy-enhancing technologies designed to break the very links that surveillance firms rely on. One of the most powerful tools in this arsenal is the zero-knowledge proof, or ZCP. ZKPs are a cryptographic marvel. They let you prove something is true without revealing the information that proves it. In a transaction, this means you could prove you have enough funds to make a payment without revealing your balance, the sender, the receiver, or the amount. This tech is moving from theory to practice, with platforms like Zcash and scaling solutions like ZSync using it to enable truly private transactions. Other techniques include coin mixing services, which shuffle funds from many users to obscure the trail. While regulators have targeted these mixers, they remain part of the privacy toolkit. Privacy-focused wallets and protocols are also accelerating, aiming to build privacy in by default, not as a complicated add-on. This creates an ongoing arms race. As analytics firms develop better tracing tools, developers create stronger privacy protocols. This struggle is fundamental to Bitcoin's future. Will it become a transparent, easily surveilled network, fully integrated into the state's control apparatus? Or will privacy technologies prevail, preserving its potential as a tool for financial sovereignty? The outcome of this battle will determine if the future of digital money is one of total surveillance or true freedom. We stand at a crossroads in the history of money. The lines have been drawn, and the conflict is heating up. On one side, governments are building a future of total financial control through regulatory walls, global surveillance, and central bank digital currencies. Programmable money that could give them the power to monitor and restrict our financial lives. Their goal isn't just to regulate a new asset, it's to neutralize a threat to their monopoly over money itself. On the other side stands Bitcoin, a decentralized, permissionless, and finite system that offers a different vision for the future. A vision where money is a tool of empowerment, not control. Where financial privacy is a feature to be protected, not a bug to be eliminated. And where the individual, not the state, holds sovereignty over their own economic destiny. The aggressive and coordinated response from governments isn't a sign of Bitcoin's weakness. It's the greatest testament to its strength. They don't fear what's trivial. They fear what's transformative. They fear a system they can't print, a network they can't shut down, and a currency they can't devalue. They fear the loss of control that Bitcoin represents. This is no longer a niche debate. The choice between these two futures will affect every single person on the planet. The coming years will see more regulatory crackdowns, faster CBDC rollouts, and a constant arms race between state surveillance and privacy tech. So we all have to ask ourselves, what kind of financial world do we want to live in? Do we accept a future where our money is a tool of the state, subject to surveillance and control? Or do we embrace a future where our money is our own, a tool for freedom and individual sovereignty? The empires are building their system. A parallel system already exists. The choice is now ours. What do you think is the inevitable outcome? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.